Acuitas is a unique portfolio of expert decision support software applications that prioritizes and optimizes your investment opportunities and enables business executives to achieve significant benefits in a large number of critically important areas. Acuitas offers a significant competitive advantage to your company compared to the best tools currently available for project decision making. First, the challenge of time to market. The Acuitas solution, real-time recommendations. Most current decision support tools for investment project or portfolio investment analysis take days, if not weeks, to deliver an initial assessment of a project. In many cases, companies are spending much more time on the development of the model than on the more critical evaluation and assessment aspects of the project itself. This inefficient process consumes excess resources and significantly reduces the number of projects that any team can develop and process. Therefore, the potential impact from new initiatives on a company's profitability is also reduced. And frequently, companies do not have the ability to quickly dissect the viability of a large number of initiatives and determine which initiatives hold the most province of acceptable returns. Having such ability will allow companies to dedicate scarce resources of people and time more effectively. The Acuitas platform enables companies to assess within minutes the suitability of projects for in-depth review and eliminate from consideration and competition for resources those that clearly don't make the cut. Acuitas quickly delivers a prioritized and optimized set of customized recommendations as to which projects meet the acceptability criteria defined by the company. Acuitas uses logic triggers to enable instant assessment of different logical ways to calculate dependent variables. An example of such a variable is the method of financing to be used to finance cash shortfalls. Global sensitivities, such as reducing all revenues by 5% and increasing at the same time all overhead costs by 10% in the first two time periods of the project operations, make it possible to test the resilience of the project's viability with a simple pull-down menu change. In an instant, this change is recalculated throughout the entire model. Embedded and automated prioritization and graphical decision support sharply compress the time to market from 75% to 90%, while at the same time delivering the highest standards of project valuation effectiveness. These improvements add even more value when considering the added complexity and challenge of assessing the optimal portfolio investments versus the viability of an individual project. Next, the challenge of risk management. The Acuitas solution, embedded risk optimization. Current decision support systems deal with risk in a peripheral way, mainly through the use of sensitivity analysis. It is left up to the user to determine the implication of changes in these assumptions. These systems also do not systematically model the full extent of the real interaction and interrelationship, the cause and effect in a project, and so not enough dominoes fall when these limited simulation models generate their projected sensitivity implications. Acuitas, on the other hand, is a fully developed set of integrated what-if simulation models that reduce the number of independent variables to a handful and fully models a large number of first and second level interrelationships that define a project in the real world. These projects that fail to achieve their financial objectives usually underestimate the impact of the marketplace on the competitiveness. Conversely, successful projects accurately project the dynamics of the competitive marketplace and correctly estimate the project investment and operating costs. Competitors will respond to an upset in the current market equilibrium that your project will create. The severity of that response generally depends upon the degree to which your project reduces their current or projected profitability. History teaches that competitors will respond with a combination of price discounting and additional or enhanced services to try to slow down or stop the penetration of your project. Acuitas allows you to model your project explicitly in terms of your impact on the marketplace for each demand segment, physical units, because it calculates your units of sale and those of your competitors as a % share of the overall market. An example of physical units would be the number of subscriptions sold. Base unit prices, because it calculates your initial projected selling prices as a percentage of the selling prices of the leading competitor or the marketplace as a whole. Competitive reaction, because it simulates the intensity of competitive reaction in terms of erosion in base unit prices. It models the erosion on the severity by which your projected volume of sales erodes competitors' projected share of market and their projected number of physical units of sale. This functionality allows you to game plan, to develop the penetration strategies that will provoke the least reaction from your strongest competitors, which you are in the strongest competitive position to offset. In addition, Acuitas measures the level of risk from any variable on a common basis of its impact on net income after tax, allowing for instant ranking and prioritization of these risks. This common measure also allows for a laser focus on risks that require deeper interrogation and further stimulation. This capability also instantly informs you how much of your current assumptions would have to change in order that the variable is no longer a threat to the achievement of your target for project success. The third area is the consistency and best practices, the Acuitas solution key performance indicator workflow. In many cases, there is no single standard of project analysis excellence at a company. Indeed, each analyst may have their own favorite analytical tool. Similarly, while there may be one or two key performance indicators that are commonly used to assess the viability of a project, all too often analysts have their own favorite KPIs, and therefore their recommendations are often colored by the performance of a project against criteria different from those of their colleagues. Acuitas provides, on the other hand, a rich inventory of over 100 key performance indicators upon which a company can choose to focus, and inherently allows companies to establish a consistent and comprehensive set of these criteria to be used for all project evaluations. The best practices in project evaluation, from integrated simulation models to common use of key performance indicators to embedding the most efficient and effective workflows, are built directly into the platform. This approach delivers additional benefits by compressing the training time of new analysts, as well as accelerating the adoption of enhanced decision support efficiencies included in the Acuitas platform. Another area of challenge is prioritization and targeting. The Acuitas solution is automated targets and prioritization. In most decision support tools, there is no direct way to prioritize the importance of specific key performance indicators or financial metric variables to your company. Frequently missing is also the comparison of projected results against the target key performance indicators or variables. Without such a comparison, it is difficult, if not impossible, to assess the success of performance of any project against your criteria. Acuitas provides users with a direct and explicit way to prioritize all key performance indicators and financial metric variables from the highest priority of 1 to the lowest priority of 100, and set targets for each key performance indicator and each time period and time range. The user can set an explicit target which will determine success performance for the project, for example a 20% return on invested capital in year 3 of the project, and optimize and sort automatically all tabular and graphical results of projected performance against targets in descending order of projected performance exceeds or falls short of target, and performance versus percent of target. The user can change these targets and priorities as easily as any data input variable and instantly display the optimized implications of these changes in both tabular and graphical form. Number 5. The challenge is portfolio level decisions, and the answer is the Acuitas portfolio optimization. All of the challenges we've discussed for individual projects come back in spades when the need is to determine the optimal portfolio of projects. Frequently, targets that constitute the viability of a single project in a standalone vacuum are no longer the correct criteria when there are investment or other constraints that raise the bar as to what is an acceptable project in the context of a portfolio. With most currently available tools, the ideal solution of deploying an iterative two-tier filtering process, one for the standalone analysis to promote projects into the portfolio discussion, and the second and more stringent analysis to select the optimal portfolio, is a very time-consuming and difficult project to manage. Acuitas solves this issue with an integrated two-tier set of applications that operate at the project level as well as at the portfolio level. At the portfolio level, Acuitas delivers all of the functionality of individual project optimization as well as portfolio-level targets and optimization, where for each key performance indicator and financial metric, all individual projects are prioritized in descending order of performance against portfolio-level targets. Competitive marketplace performance, where Acuitas generates a unique virtual competitive marketplace comprised of the financials of all competing projects and determines, over time, the share and change in share of total revenues and profits each investment is projected to achieve. And relative investment performance, where Acuitas measures the relative success of each project in terms of efficient use of investment requirements against portfolio-level investment efficiency targets. This concludes the overview of the competitive advantages of Acuitas in helping you manage your project optimization challenges and opportunities.